we've just completed our external inspection outside, and your examiner will give you instructions to for to complete the vehicle inspection. The instructions will be to complete the vehicle inspection, perform an external light operations check and an in-vehicle inspection and engine start. He will ask you if you have any questions. Your response, yes. Would you assist me with my external light operations check? He would say yes. Ask the examiner to move to the front of the vehicle to check your front lights. Once he moves to the front of the vehicle, you would then turn your key to the on position. Turn your lights completely on. And then you will begin, let your window down so he can hear you. And you will begin to speak loudly as to the lights you're checking. Clearance lights, side marker light. Then you would do left turn signal, right turn signal, four ways, high beam, low beam, low beam. You would ask the examiner to step to the rear of the vehicle so he can check your side lights and the rear lights on your vehicle. Once he's in the rear, you would look in the mirror and you would proceed to check your lights as you did in the front. You would say clearance lights, side marker lights, left turn signal, right turn signal, four ways. Now you will replace high beam and low beam with tail lights and brake lights. Okay, you inform the examiner that you have completed your external light operations check. Your examiner would then proceed to come to the passenger side of the vehicle. Turn your key off while he's coming to the vehicle. Once he enters the vehicle and he's seated, safely seated, you will perform a safe start. You will make sure that your parking brake is set. Your vehicle is in neutral. Put your cover, the service brake. Turn your key to the on position. Make sure all your lights and gauges activate, go on, and lights go off, especially the ABS lights. Once they've went off, then you want to start your vehicle. Once you started your vehicle, you release your brake, your service brake. Take your foot off your service brake. Okay, your truck is now started. It's now building pressure. Now you want to start your in-vehicle inspection by checking your mirrors, your left mirror as well as your right mirror. Make sure they're properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, clean, free of any obstructions. Next, you would check your windshield. Make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, clean, free of instructions. Next, you check your window seal to make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, not leaking. Next, you check your windshield wipers to make sure they're both properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and firmly pressed against the windshield. You will also make sure that they work properly and have washer fluid as well. Next, you would check your gauges. You would start with your oil pressure gauge to make sure that it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, is rising to the proper level between 30 and 60 psi. Next, you would go down to your temperature gauge to make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and rising to the proper level at between 180 and 210. Your RPMs and your tachometer, you would make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and working properly by tapping on the service accelerator to make sure that the needle moves. Then you would check it. Next, you go to your speedometer and make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken. You would check it when you do your service brake test. Next, we go to our fuel gauge to make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and we have enough fuel for the trip. Then we'll go to our primary and secondary air gauge to make sure they both are properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and working properly and at the proper range between 120 and 140 psi. Our voltmeter is a digital voltmeter, and we will check to make sure that it's properly charging the battery between 12 and 14 volts without any warning lights. Next, we will come out, check our horn. We don't have a highway horn, so we're only required to have one. Next, we will go over to our defrosting heater. The controls are already set to heat. The temperature is set to heat, and the control is set to dual floor and defrost. We will turn our speed or fan control up to high. Check our defrost up top and our heat down low. Alrighty. Next, we will start with our safety equipment. First, we'll check, make sure we have spare fuses in our fuse box or other storing locations like side door panel here. We will also check our 3 red self-reflecting triangles, which are located in the red box behind the seat. Next, we'll check our fire extinguisher, which is located below the driver's seat. Make sure it's properly secured, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and that it's fully charged with a pin in place and has a current inspection tag. Next, we'll check our seat belt and make sure it's secured in 3 places, up top and down below on the left side and over to the right side here. We will check the belt to make sure it has no cuts, rips, or frays, and that the belt latches and unlatches. Okay, now